If you're working with a large website, it can often be beneficial if Google Analytics groups its content in the same way that your website is organized. For example, if you had an e-commerce store, you might want to group your content around the main parts of the shopping experience, such as accessories, or office, or kids, and so on. This also holds true if, say, you run a large news outlet and you have categories for each section that articles can be delivered in, say news, entertainment, celebrities, and sports. This is handled through what's known as content grouping, and I'm here in the All Pages report under Site Content with Behavior, and you'll see here at the top of the table is a headline labeled Content Grouping. When content grouping is set up, you'll be able to select categories from the dropdown. Here I can see clothing by gender, product categories, and brands. Now these have been configured at the content grouping level, and once we drill in, we can see all the ones that have been set up. Here we see drinkware, brands, office, and so forth. And this is very helpful because it lets us look at insights at an aggregate view based on those categories, which lets me at a glance see which categories are performing best. It's relatively straightforward to set this up, and we'll start by going to the admin panel. I then need to select the appropriate account. And then we'll choose content grouping from the view menu. I'll choose new content grouping. And then let's give this a name. You have three options for how you assign pages to groups. You can group by a tracking code, which allows you to indicate the groupings from your Google Analytics tag setup. You have the ability to group using extraction, which allows you to group with the URL structure of the pages. So you'll simply add a regular expression that pulls out the name of your group from within the URLs. And this is relatively straightforward if you have a very clear folder structure. And then you have the ability to create a rule set. And this allows you to group based on logical rules. For example, you might define one or more rules around what the page contains. So if we added, for example, blog, select done, and then we could simply choose save. Now, you'll need to set up content groups for each category that you'd like to configure, but keep in mind that you can have the same content in multiple groups. Now, content grouping is not retroactive. It's only going to work moving forward from the day that you create it.